up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's good, people? What is up? What is up? They went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow right here all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's Meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these pants on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. This what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Ooh, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to stop. I thought Lil Murder was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Girl. Uncle Cliff, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. What he had on looked like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had on way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Iyanla Vanzant's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. And Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see it. Get me up in my DMs. I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue, jock strap or something like that. I'd love to see it too. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
Hello, people. Hello. I'm here. I'm so glad to see you all. Let me share this out. Listen, it's been a rough day. It's Tuesday, always my busiest day of the work week. And yeah. We made it though. We made it. Let me post this on the community wall. Post this on the members only chat. And then the Bluesky. And then we'll be ready. Listen, it's a lot going on, y'all. It's a lot going on. Girl. Anyway, how are y'all today? How's your Tuesday going? Am I the only one who at work Tuesday is the day where like the bottom falls out? Am I the only one like that? Because for me, Mondays are not the busy days for me. For me, it's fucking Tuesday. When Tuesday comes, it's like everybody's like, okay, bitch, we here. Hey, get over it. You getting all of this. So yeah, we have rough days over here on Tuesdays. And then I have 2 shows on Tuesday. And I got to do all of this prep and stuff for the channel. So Tuesdays are just rough for me. Just y'all pray my strength in the Lord. nevertheless, we are here. We're here. We're not gonna complain about it because this is what we do. This is what we do. All right. All right. It's posted. There you go on Blue Sky. All I need to do now, y'all don't mind. Listen, it's been a rough Tuesday. Do y'all mind if I have a drink? Do y'all mind if I fix? It's not gonna be nothing real strong. It's gonna be a light, like something. I got my little Perrier Forever Peach, right? So we're gonna start. I already got my cup, my glass. Well, I don't drink out of plastic cups. I need a glass. Got my glass. Gonna pour a little Perrier. We're gonna sandwich the gin today. It's gonna be like a gin and tonic almost with the Perrier. Put some. What gin am I drinking? My gin of choice, of course, the Botanist. So we got that going, and then we're gonna put some more Perrier on the top, and that's gonna be like one more good gin and tonic. And we gonna we ready to get this party started. Y'all want this party started right, right. Y'all want this watch all my AKAs in the building start getting ready to stroll. Y'all want this party started right, right. Y'all want this party started quickly. Right, set it up at the get y'all, set it up at the get y'all, set it up. Look at all the AKAs getting ready to stroke, set it off. Set it up on the left, y'all, set it up on the right, y'all, set it off, set it off, set it off, set it off. That's for all my AKAs in the building. On the left, on the right, on the left, I suggest at the get, on the left, on the right. Look at them strolling. On the left, I stick it. Oh, that's good. That's right. That's right. All right. Oh, that's good. That should be able to carry me through. All right, y'all. Let's do it. Let me say hey to y'all. Hey, Universe Soul Goddess, you are first. And it's so glad. I'm so glad to see you. So good to have you, as you are the first pupil in the building. Hey, Miss True Kelly. Hey, girl. Hey, what is going on? Tracy W is here. Ravine, wait a minute, Ravine. First of all, ain't nobody tell you to be changing your avatar and thrusting your breast forward and stuff. Who you showing out for, Ravine? We ain't tell you could be doing all that. Keep it together. We got to be, covered up and pure and chaste, showing your shoulders and stuff, showing these people body and stuff. Ain't nobody tell you to do all of that, Ravine. And where you been the last couple of days skipping my class? Hey, Ravine. Hey, Candace F, what's going on, sweetheart? Hey, Jeannie Boo, what's up? Hey, Pinky Tiki. Pinky Tiki say I am present. Pinky Tiki's like me. Like when they would call attendance and everybody else would say here, I'd be like present. You like me and Pinky Tiki, me and you are here. Hey Tawana, what's going on? What's going on, sweetheart? Looking lovely like always. Symmetry is in the building. Uh-huh. Symmetry. I know Symmetry was over, and Ravine was over there side-eyeing me when I was singing Set It Off. Y'all want me to sing What You Say? To be real. What you feel? What you know? To be real. That's what the Delta strove to in Tallahassee. Ooh, your love for real, yeah. You know that your love is my love is your love. Our love is still to stay. There we go. That's for the Deltas in a row. Now that's it. That's all. Ain't do it no more. Next thing you know, you're gonna have the Zetas want me to sing Brick House or something. She's a brick house. I think that's what the Zeta strolled to. Child, I can't remember. Hey, little baby. Harold! 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 Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Child, girl, child. Harold, you know that's my said honey. Child, girl, child. Honey, boom, boom, honey. Child. Meetings back to back on Tuesdays for me. Ravine, them Tuesdays be killing us around here. I came home to dog mess to clean, and then my crown broke when I was eating. Child, it's one of them days, Candace. Let's just sit out and have a good kiki. Okay? Cure. Hey, Paul. You know what we about to ask you, Paul, right? Everybody in the chat wanting to know who you just came from laid up under, huh? You know we got to ask you that every day. Paul, I better be turning Paul into some wanton slut, like he be having a different piece of trade every day. Hey, Tamara, what's going on, sweetheart? Tamara, we just over here cutting the food because we done had a long, hard ass day, like a good piece of jig, honey. That day hit us today. Listen, Tuesday hit you like a good dick, long and hard. I'm just saying. Hey, Janae, boo. Janae, don't mind us. We just over here cutting up. We is just cutting up. Look at Tawana. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. Already making reservations for birthday shots on Thursday. Okay. Remind me. Look at her. Ravine, please don't get started. You know, once you get Divine Nine going at each other in the chat, it's going to be going the whole live. Y'all going to be back and forth the whole live going at each other. Throat. Okay? Because now Ravine, one of our resident Deltas, said the AKAs are slow. I wouldn't take that if I was y'all AKAs. I wouldn't sit back and let her talk to me like that. I'm just saying. Child. It was Patch Tuesday, Wednesday for us in IT when I go where Ish go crazy. Right, it's Tuesdays, y'all. It's always Tuesday. Child. Candace F say, why am I over here ski weird? Child. Universe Soul God say, I'm not even an AKA, but that song gets me going. Oh, okay. Didn't I tell you the Deltas was going here? Got to be real? Child. Look at Ravine. Hey, Montrez, what's good, bro? Am I prepared today? Prepared for what? What do I need to be prepared for, Paul? Do tell. Child. Yeah. Hey, Opal. Child. You was at a Kappa event on Saturday. I know you had a good time. I know it was some fine menses. Child. Yoko, you thought you got rid of last week, came back in full effect, child. Child, listen, I told you I don't play with codes. I take me some good Aleve D and keep it moving. Demetria say, you late, you showed is late to class. We glad you here though. Hey. Oh man, my family is full of Kappas, Omegas, and Deltas. Okay. Hey, Nessa. Is this our Nessa or Nessa D? I don't know. That's not our Nessa. I thought that was not that you're not our Nessa, but I'm looking for my Haitian princess, Nessa. How are you today, Nessa D? You all right? Oh, is you? Wait, where's your avatar, ma'am? Ma'am, that it. Wait, where's your avatar? What are you? And where you been hiding, Nessa? I ain't seen you in a month of Sundays. Where you been? Child. Anyway, y'all ready to get this party started? Let's go ahead. I know that's why I was like, who's this Nessa D? I know your old name. That's why I'm like, that's why I almost thought it was you, and then I didn't see the DANT. I said, well, who is this? Child, you been incognito for the last few days. Who you hiding from? Child, don't let them boys down in Miami do it to you. You know they will, Nessa. You know they will, girl. Girl. Anyway, it's time. Let's go ahead and get prepared. Go ahead and put a Shondo in the chat. Let me know you ready to get this party started. We about to start off with our Black Women's History moment. Hey, Yana. Y'all know we ain't even got started today. So, um, yeah, we ain't even got started today. Started yet. So we good. We are good. All right. I got my Shondos in the chat. Looks like we are ready to get started. Let's start off with our Black History moment. So, wait, let me get the dossier up. I got another uh beautiful Black queen who I think oh, Tracy, you sent me the stuff, huh? Okay. You sent me the stuff, huh? Oh, Tracy, Tracy ain't even in here. Tracy sent me some stuff that I had asked her for. Oh, okay, I see it, Tracy. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Okay. We got it. Okay, Tracy. Thank you, boo. Look at Tracy coming through. Uh-huh. 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 I'm sorry, y'all. I'm reading through what Tracy sent me. Uh-huh. 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 Mm. All right. So I see what we need to do. All right. Let's learn today. Let's get some good wholesome my wonderful pupils. Go ahead, get your pens, pencils. And oh, Tracy. Okay, thank you, Tracy. I saw what you sent me. And hopefully we get a chance to unpack that today. Um, so get your pens, pencils, your notebook paper, your laptops, whatever you need to take your notes. But let's learn about another beautiful Black queen. And today we learn about this young lady. Her name is Hazel Rollins Reed O'Leary. Hazel Rollins Reed O'Leary. Let's learn the story of this beautiful Black queen. The first and only woman, not just Black woman, but the first and only woman, period, to hold the position of U.S. Secretary of Energy. Hazel Rollins Reed was born May 17th, 1937, in Newport News, Virginia. During this time of public school segregation, Reed's parents, hoping for better schooling opportunity, sent their daughter to live with an aunt in New Jersey. There, Hazel attended a school for artistically gifted students. Reed entered Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee in 1955 and graduated with honors 4 years later. She was elected to Phi Beta Kappa National Honor Society at Fisk. 7 years later, she received a law degree from Rutgers University and soon became an attorney in the New Jersey State Attorney General's office. By the early 1970s, Reed moved to Washington, D.C., where she became a partner at Coopers and LeBrand, an accounting firm. She soon joined the Gerald Ford administration as the general counsel to the Community Services Administration, where she administered most of the federal government's anti-poverty programs. President Ford later appointed Reed director of the Federal Energy Administration's Office of Consumer Affairs. In this position, she became well known as a representative of the concerns of consumers who challenged the power and influence of the major energy producers. In 1977, President Jimmy Carter appointed Reed to head the Department of Energy's Economic Regulatory Administration. Her agency included more than 2,000 employees who enforced prior price controls, on numerous forms of energy. At this time, she successfully lobbied Congress to pass the Fuel Use Act, which decreased the demand for natural gas and developed conservation programs that assisted low-income residents. While working for the Carter administration, Reed met her future husband, John F. O'Leary, who was at the time the nation's deputy energy secretary. The two married in 1980 and together left the department to establish and manage their own energy consulting firm, O'Leary Associates. In 1989, following the death of her husband, Hazel O'Leary went to work for Northern State Power Company, a Minnesota utility, as executive vice president for environmental and public affairs, and then president of its natural gas division. In 1992, President-elect Bill Clinton announced that he would nominate O'Leary to be Secretary of the U.S. Department of Energy. She would become the second woman and third African-American woman nominated to the Clinton cabinet. On January 22nd, 1993, Hazel Rollins Reed O'Leary became the seventh U.S. Secretary of Energy. She would direct the 20,000 employees of the agency and be the principal architect of the Clinton energy policy that emphasized both conservation and innovation. While in office, O'Leary led the effort to find safer ways to dispose of atomic waste. She gained congressional approval to convert one of three national nuclear weapons designs laboratories into a research facility to study technological advanced environmental cleanup practices. O'Leary also opposed increases in energy taxes. Since 2002, Hazel O'Leary has served as president of Fisk University, her alma mater. Let me say that again. Since 2002, she has served as president of Fisk University, her alma mater. She remains an avid supporter of environmentalism. She works with a variety of nonprofit organizations, including the World Wildlife Fund, Morehouse College, and the Andrew Young Center of International Development. And that, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary gender conforming members of our audience, is Hazel Rollins Reed O'Leary. I didn't even know she was president of Fisk. Man, and she's still president of Fisk. She was president when my brothers were there. So I probably saw her at their graduation. Yeah, that was her at her now that I'm looking at her picture, that was her at their graduation. Wow. That is the story right there. And she's in her 80s, right? Doesn't that make her? Yeah, she's in her 80s. She got to be about 88. Jesus. Right? Yeah, because she'll be 90 in 2 years. Jesus, and she's still getting it. Wonderful story, beautiful black queen. Great story, and good to hear. Good to hear. Hey, lovely 31 Blueprint. All right. Hey, Angela, and ladies and gentlemen, with that, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary gender conforming members of our audience, I bring to you the great Larry Myers to help us usher in. To help us usher in what? To help us usher in our Sugar Spike segment.
Oh, God. You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So long, well, I want to fight. Daddy gave his only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And shall ever believe.
Major sugar spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
Jesus. My brothers graduated from Fisk in 2021. 2021. Yeah. 2021. So anyway, hey Side Mirror, I'm glad you made it on time today. Well, you're not on time, but a little earlier today. Uh-huh. Well, listen, y'all. It sounds like we're damn near at full-scale war with Canada. Now, tonight we will be having Red, Blue, and Black. Me and Cams will break down everything going on with Canada, tariffs, the fact that after Canada put a tariff on electricity yesterday, Trump doubled his tariffs on Canada, and it's a whole lot going on with that. We'll break all of that down tonight at 8:30. So be around here tonight for Red, Blue, and Black. Now, um, however, in more retaliation against China, your president is this is getting ugly. So now, so now, so bad. So now the president of these yet to be United States has said that they're going to begin to require all Canadians who stay in the country more than 30 days to be fingerprinted. Mhm. 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 They just going back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. Now, the thing is, the thing is, you normally, if you were from Canada and you came over to the US, and you stayed more than 30 days, you didn't really have to register and all of that stuff. It wasn't that big of a deal. You could go on and go about life like, like damn near like you was a US citizen and so forth. But now President Trump's administration is preparing a new travel rule that could force Canadians planning to stay in the country for more than 30 days to register their information with the United States government and submit to fingerprinting. The draft rule, which is set to take effect on April 11th, expands requirements for registration and fingerprinting of foreign nationals who cross the US Canada land border and stay in the US longer than a month, for more than longer than a month. Affected people would have to create an account with the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services and schedule an appointment for fingerprinting as part of a background check. The change could impact scores of Canadian snowbirds, retirees who spend winter months in warmer United States, in warmer U.S. states, who may now need to either register with the US government or face penalties. Other forms, including a common I-94 travel document, are accepted in lieu of the registration, according to the notice. That document is routinely issued to non-immigrant visitors to the US who arrive by air or sea. The move comes as Trump looks to crack down on migration and as he stokes a spiraling trade war with Canada. I keep wanting to say China. He's threatened widespread tariffs on Canada, and on Tuesday, that's today, moved to double forthcoming steel and aluminum levies on the country. There's an update on that as well. We'll get to that as well. But that's the update. So what they said is, what the Trump administration is saying to Canada is, oh, y'all doing this? This what we doing? So y'all giving us this? Well, how about this? Oh, y'all, you think it's a game? Get some of this. We're here, y'all. We're here. They sure can have wheelchair Jimmy back. Hey, Miss Shorty B. They could have Tory Lanez back too. But This does not bode well for either Canada or America. A war, a trade war, or whatever this is they got going on between Canada and the US does not bode well for either country. No one's going to win. Hey, Katrina, the Canadians don't win. We as Americans don't win. No one wins. We all suffer because these bitches want to go and have pissing contests. That's what we got going on here. White men having pissing contests. Right, Miss Shorty B. This is where we are. This is where the fuck we are. And then Canada has the guy who's replacing the new the guy who's supposed to replace Justin Trudeau as prime minister. He's about that life too. He's here for all of the smoke, all of it. And you know these people and their egos. Nobody wants to. Nobody wants to capitulate. Nobody wants to go and be conciliatory. Nobody wants to acquiesce. Nobody wants to coalesce. Nobody wants to do what's best for their people. Everybody's just digging their feet into the sand. And we have a fucktard as a president that doesn't give a damn how bad it hurts us. This is where we are. This is where the fuck we are. In more sugar spiky news. So yesterday, I reported on the situation with Mahmoud Khalil. Antonia say she thought she was gonna be in the dark up there in Michigan. They're not gonna shut it off, but they are gonna charge you extra money. At least they were. There's an update to those tariffs as well. We'll get to that tonight. Stay tuned for Red, Blue, and Black tonight, where we give you all the updates on everything U.S. versus Canada. So, as you can see on the left, the people have been out there protesting about the injustice that's happening to Mahmoud Khalil. Now, a federal judge yesterday scheduled a Wednesday court hearing for Mahmoud Khalil. All these damn pop-ups. A recent Columbia University graduate who was arrested by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, forbidding the government from moving forward with deportation efforts before then. So what the judge said was, I'm going to hear the case on Wednesday. Y'all can't send him nowhere. Y'all cannot deport him. Y'all can't send him nowhere. Not before we have this court hearing. Now, lawyers for Mahmoud Khalil, who is a green card holder and leading a pro-Palestinian and a leading pro-Palestinian demonstrator, whose arrest was cheered by President Trump, he has also filed. I'm sorry, his lawyers have also filed a motion seeking his return to New York. Now, you should know they arrested him in New York and moved him all the way down to Louisiana. All the way to Louisiana. Now, if y'all have been following me, right? If y'all have been watching this show long enough, what do we know about Louisiana? Louisiana is a part of the Fifth Circuit. And what do we know about the Fifth Circuit? That's where democracy goes to die. So these people are very strategic in what they're trying to do. Okay. Now, U.S. Judge Jesse M. Furman, who is an appointee of former President Obama, that is the judge that is over this case. And in his order, he said, quote, to preserve the court's jurisdiction pending a ruling on the petition, petitioner shall not be removed from the United States unless and until the court orders otherwise. End of quote, which means they can't deport him. Mahmoud Khalil's attorney, Amy Greer, said in a statement to news outlets that it hadn't been immediately clear where ICE took him. They didn't know where he went. And then his team had originally thought that they took him to New Jersey, but reports from other newspapers and news outlets, including the New York Times, indicated that he was taken from New York and was taken all the way to a jail in Louisiana. Why is this important? Because once we allow the government to just do this, I shouldn't say we will get there. We're already at the point where our federal government is operating like a dictatorship or an authoritarian government, already operating that way. Already operating that way. Already operating that way. And while we've been live, I've been looking at my little crawl on my phone. The little crawl on my phone. See, this is where we are. Says that now Democrats in the House, right, now feel like they have to reintroduce the Crown Act because they're already getting word from people within the states and federal employees that say that they're being discriminated upon because of their hair. And now we're at the point, y'all know what happened to our boy Daryl George over there in Georgia, not in Georgia, in Texas, that we chronicled here. This is an aside from the Mahmoud Khalil thing, because this just came on my crawl on my phone and I didn't have a chance to add it to the dossier. However, Democrats in the House have now said that they have an outcry of people saying that there needs to be a reintroduction of the Crown Act and more teeth and enforcement on the Crown Act. And what that tells me is people have had their jobs and livelihoods threatened simply because of their hair. We know they're eliminating everything dealing with black people, minorities, and being able to discriminate against somebody because of their hair is on par with what these people want. Have already started the process of becoming an authoritarian and dictatorship, authoritarian government and dictatorship. We're already here. Here we are, people. Here the fuck we are. In more sugar spiky news that affects us black people, so y'all's boy, the one black person on Donald John's cabinet, Scott Turner, who is the Secretary of HUD, he has announced that he is terminating the affirmative furthering fair housing rule in an effort to cut, quote, costly red tape, end of quote. The affirmative furthering fair housing, or AFFH rule, was originally introduced by President Obama and his administration, and it required any state receiving federal funding to demonstrate they were taking steps to truly implement fair housing and eliminate discrimination by answering a series of questions and assembling planning reports that showed concrete actions. The rule was rescinded once Trump first took office in 2016 and was brought back by President Joe Biden in 2021. But now it's gone again. Now Secretary Turner of Secretary of Department of Housing and Urban Development, Secretary Turner said in a statement announcing the repeal, he said, quote, local and state governments understand the needs of their communities much better than bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. Terminating this rule restores trust in local communities and property owners while protecting America's suburbs and neighborhood integrity, end of quote. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. The reason there was the need for the AFFH is because there needed to be some teeth in the Civil Rights Act of 1964, 65. But when all of those civil rights acts were put into place, there still needed to be something on the ground, something on the grassroots and ground level to enforce this kind of stuff. And the AFFH realized that people were finding loopholes and ways around the discrimination and racial profiling that was happening with housing. So what the Obama administration did was they came in, they said, no, if you want to receive federal funds, you have to show us tangible proof that you are not discriminating. You have to fill out this paperwork and these forms and show us tangibly that you are doing everything in your power to be fair in how you take applications for an apartment, approve mortgages, and all types of things involving fair housing. By them saying we trust the states to do it is essentially saying the federal government does not believe that there should be fair housing, because we know left to themselves, the state will not enforce this. Many of the states in the South will not enforce this. Think about, I want you to think about this. Think about Brown v. Board of Education. Think about if the government or the Supreme Court or the federal government had said, you know, we just don't think that this should be something left to the federal government. This should be something that the states can decide, because I'm going to use the exact wording that Secretary Turner said. Local and state governments understand the needs of their communities much better than bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. That's what he said verbatim. Brown v. Board of Education would never have gone through, left to southern states. I'll go even further. Slavery left to the fucking states would still be happening in these yet to be United States of America. And Scott Turner's black ass, who's sitting as the fucking Secretary of HUD, would not have that job. Leaving shit to these states where you know these fuckers are racist as hell. You know they're bigoted and discriminatory. Left to themselves, they will sit there and enact all types of laws, edicts, rules that discriminate against all of us, all marginalized groups. It has always been the job of the American government, the federal government, I should say, to make sure that the citizens across the country, from sea to shining sea, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, that all of them have a fair chance at life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And you telling me that you're going to put it back in the hands of the states that are knowingly stripping rights of their citizens, is constitutional malpractice. That's what it is. I'm just saying. We know you sitting in states like all across the South, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, Florida, all across Arkansas, all across the South, Missouri, Oklahoma, Nebraska. These people are here for it. They are about that life of racism and bigotry and discrimination. You walk in there and be too black for them. You walk in there and be too gay for them. You damn sure don't walk in there and be trans. Here we are. Here we are. Here the fuck we are. In more sugar spiky news. The USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, has cut two programs that gave schools and food banks money to buy food from local farms and ranchers, halting more than 1 billion with a B dollars in federal spending. Roughly $660 million that school that schools and child care facilities were counting on to purchase food from nearby farms through the local food for schools cooperative agreement program in 2025 has been canceled, and that's according to the School Nutrition Association. State officials were notified Friday of USDA's decision to end the LFS program for this year. More than 40 states had signed agreements to participate in previous years, according to the School Nutrition Association and several state agencies. The local food purchase assistance cooperative agreement program, which supports food banks and other feeding organizations, has also been cut. USDA notified states that it was unfreezing funds for existing LFPA agreements, but did not plan to carry out a second round of funding for fiscal year 2025. In a statement, a USDA spokesperson confirmed that funding previously announced last October, quote, is no longer available and those agreements will be terminated following 60-day notification, end of quote. The spokesperson for the USDA also added, quote, these programs created under the former administration via executive authority no longer effectuate the goals of the agency. LFPA and LFPA plus agreements that were in place prior to LFPA 25, which still has substantial financial resources remaining, will continue to be in effect for the remainder of the period of performance, end of quote. The Biden administration expanded the spending for both programs to build a more resilient food supply chain that didn't just rely on major food companies. Last year, USDA announced more than $1 billion in additional funding for the programs through Commodity Credit Corporation, a New Deal era USDA funding for buying agricultural commodities. The Trump administration's move to halt the programs comes as school nutrition officials are becoming increasingly anxious about affording healthy food with the current federal reimbursement rates for meals. As food costs have risen in the last few years, more people are turning to food banks and other feeding organizations to supplement their increased grocery bills. Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey, a Democrat, castigated the administration for the decision, noting that her state would lose $12 million it planned to dole out to school districts. Quote, Donald Trump and Elon Musk have declared that feeding children and supporting local farmers are no longer priorities, and it's just the latest terrible cut with real impact on families across Massachusetts, end of quote. And that's a quote from Governor Healey. These people don't care about y'all. They don't care about y'all children. They damn sure don't care about the local farmers. There were a lot of farmers that went out and voted for Trump, thought something was in it for them, and they're just and they've had to go straight Bohica. Hashtag Bohica. Bend over, here it comes again. So it's not enough that the tariffs on China are fucking y'all up. And now programs that were supposed to help local farmers and help schools and other organizations that like food banks. Mm-mm. You can't have none of that. Mm-mm. None of it. Hey, crazy homebody girl. Hey, precious jewel. Here we are. In some good news, now that is Michigan Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist, who I like. Now, I don't live in Michigan, but I've followed his career and I've seen him many times. I've heard him speak actually in person. Great gentleman, awesome, very intelligent, smart guy. He is current lieutenant governor for the state of Michigan, and he has stated that he has launched his candidacy for governor of Michigan. We are here for it. Um, Michigan has never had a black governor. So all my people up there, I know Angela is up there. I know Antonia is up there in Michigan. Who else up there in Michigan? All y'all people up there in Michigan. Antonia, ain't you in Michigan? I know Angela is up there, but I need y'all to go and support this black man. Y'all saw what they did to my boy Mandela Barnes over there in Wisconsin when my frat brother Mandela Barnes ran for governor. Not for governor, he ran for that Senate seat over there, and he was the lieutenant governor of Wisconsin and ran for that Senate seat and lost. Hey, Uncle Jane. So I need all my people up there in Michigan. I need y'all to support this young man. I'm sure y'all already know who he is, but that's Garland Gilchrist. He is the lieutenant governor of Michigan, and he's who we're rooting for. We're rooting for him. Okay. Um, yeah. Now, it's going to be a crowded field for that spot. Michigan Senate Minority Leader Eric Nesbitt announced earlier this year that he would be running. Michigan's former Attorney General Mike Cox has formed a candidate committee, but he has not formally announced or launched his candidacy. Representative John James, a Republican from Michigan, the only black elected official in Michigan's congressional delegation, is also vying or looking into a statewide run, but has not decided if he wants to run for governor or the state's open Senate seat. So it's possibly going to be a crowded field, but we know who we going for. Okay, we're rooting for this young man, Garland Gilchrist. In more state news, in California, that's our girl Katie Porter. Now I like Katie Porter. Katie Porter is like me. She's a progressive, like I am. Okay. And she has announced that she's running for governor of California. Now, there has been whisperings that Kamala would make a run for would possibly make a run for California governor, but I'd love to see Katie get this seat. We saw what happened. Katie announced first. Adam Schiff got in the race, and that muddied the waters. And Katie Porter ended up not getting that Senate seat because Adam Schiff, who had been more aligned with establishment Dems, got that ticket. Got that seat. Katie Porter announcing is great, but if Kamala announces, I suspect that a lot of those establishment Dems will probably support her. Who knows? But I like Katie Porter. If I lived in California and could vote, she would be my vote because she aligns with my political leanings and ideology. She's a progressive like me, so I'm excited for her. Hopefully, this is a successful run. Okay, so now I told y'all these updates would keep coming. So this is an update on the Caleb Wilson case. Caleb Wilson, the 20-year-old who died from a hazing ritual over at Southern University, pledging Omega Psi Phi. I did not see that, Symmetry. Send me that story, please. I ain't even got my banner up. Send me that story, Symmetry, please. So And if I have time today, I'll cover it now. If I have time today. So this is the update on the Caleb Wilson case out of Southern University. So the guy on the right with the hoodie, that's Caleb McCray, who they arrested over the week. I mean, I believe it was Friday that he got arrested. We reported on that on Silly Saturday. The guy on the left was just arrested yesterday. His name is Kyle Thurman. Kyle Thurman is his name. He was arrested at a home in Port Allen, Louisiana, which is adjacent to Baton Rouge. Um, he's been arrested. Now, Isaiah Smith is someone else whose father reportedly owns a warehouse where Caleb Wilson was killed while undergoing the pledging process. Isaiah Smith turned himself over to the custody of police today. So the guy who you see on the left, that's Kyle Thurman. Another guy is Isaiah Smith. He turned himself into the police today. I don't have a picture of him. Now, remember when I reported on Saturday, they had said that there were two warrants for two people that they were looking to bring in with connection to this case. So I'm suspecting that those are the two individuals. The guy who you see on the left and the other guy, Isaiah Smith, who you don't see pictured. I believe those are the two people who they were looking for in connection with this. Both Kyle Thurman and on the left and Isaiah Smith, who you do not see pictured, they face charges of felony criminal hazing in the February 27th death of Caleb Wilson. The arrest of Kyle Thurman occurred after he missed a deadline to surrender. Baton Rouge's WAFB news station reported. He and Isaiah Smith were identified as suspects in the Wilson case after Thursday night's arrest of Caleb McCray, who you see on the right, on counts of criminal hazing and manslaughter. McCray had initially been described as a graduate of Southern University after surrendering himself to police. But the school said yesterday that Caleb McCray on the right, Kyle Thurman on the left, and Isaiah Smith, who you don't see pictured, were all current students and would undergo disciplinary proceedings at Southern University that could potentially culminate in their expulsions. So they aren't former students, they are current students. Southern University officials also reiterated that the Omega Psi Phi chapter at its campus has been ordered to cease and desist, and all fraternities as well as sororities at Southern University have been prohibited from accepting new members, at least for the rest of the academic year. I'm just saying. Now, believe it or not, hazing was illegal in Louisiana until 2017. I looked that up. Hazing was legal in Louisiana until 2017, just 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. In more news, I'm sure there'll be more updates to that story. In more news, a U.S. Border Patrol agent pleaded guilty in federal court to having told multiple women to expose their breasts during interviews to gain admission to the country. I don't know what I don't know what y'all want from me. I just read the stories. I just read the stories. Shane Millen, age 53, was charged in August 2024 with 4 misdemeanor counts of deprivation of rights under color of law, according to court records. According to court records, um, Millen pleaded guilty to 2 of the charges on Friday at the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of New York. Millen admitted that he told multiple women to show him their breasts under the guise of a legitimate search during virtual processing calls before allowing them access to the country. So, what that means is they would do a virtual meeting where they would say, they would apply to come into the country. He would say, "Oh, you have to do a search of you. You have to show me your breasts." And he would have them show them their breasts. A mess. His sentencing is scheduled for July 7th. I mean, he faces up to 2 years in prison and a fine of up to $200,000. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. That's all y'all giving him. Hey, Miss Bay thing. The Dean of Pledges turned himself in today too. I didn't even see that one. Mm. Mm. You sent it to me via Instagram? Okay. Hold on, let me look. These people are sick, y'all. So this man got these women showing them their titties in order to okay. Symmetry. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Me and Really B have Red, Blue, and Black. Not Red, Blue, and Black. Teacher Project 2.0. So we'll do this tomorrow. I'll send this to Really B and we'll do it on Teacher Project because I want to get her thoughts on it as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll do it on Teacher Project 2.0. In more Southern University news, coming from Southern University, the Trump administration has revoked a $600,000 federal grant awarded to Southern University after conservative activists falsely claimed it was funding research on, quote, menstrual cycles in transgender men, end of quote. The decision comes amid the administration's broader crackdown on programs acknowledging transgender and non-binary people. The grant, titled Farm to Feminine Hygiene, enhancing the textile lab for research, extension, and scientific instrumentation for teaching at Southern University. It was awarded in 2024 by the U.S. Department of Agriculture's National Institute of Food and Agriculture. The project, which was scheduled to run through 2027, focused on developing sustainable menstrual products from natural fibers like regenerative cotton, wool, and industrial hemp. It also sought to educate young women and girls about menstrual health and provide Louisiana farmers with a fiber processing center. However, the project's description contained one sentence acknowledging that, quote, transgender men and people with masculine gender identities, intersex, and non binary persons may also menstruate, end of quote. That was enough for the administration to intervene. Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins announced the cancellation on Twitter, X, formerly Twitter, on Friday, writing, quote, canceled $600,000 grant to study menstrual cycles in transgender men. Keep sending us tips. Thank you. The insanity is ending and the restoration of America is underway, end of quote. Now, this study, once again, like I told y'all, is not about studying menstrual cycles in transgender men, which is actually a thing. but it just acknowledged there's one sentence in the description of the project that simply acknowledges that transgender men and people with masculine gender identities, intersex, and non binary persons may also menstruate, saying, hey, these are also people who may menstruate and may be a part of the program since they have menstrual cycles. But here we are. Here we are. Now, CBS News reported that the American Principles Project, a far-right think tank, flagged the study to the Trump administration. They told the group spokesperson Kaylee Myers told CBS, quote, "This grant clearly denies biological reality. Men don't menstruate." End of quote. Though she provided no evidence that the grant was actually about transgender men. These people are simply pressing Control F and doing a search for these cute, like the words that we saw yesterday that they were banning. They're just doing a Control F and just looking. Oh, you have the word transgender in your in the wording. Oh, you got to go. That's literally what they're doing, and you're cutting hundreds of thousands, and in some cases, hundreds of millions of dollars of funding. Things that can help not just liberals, but you heard a large portion of this helps Louisiana farmers. I thought them was your people. I thought these were your base. I thought these were the people you were trying to help. No makes no consideration for the fact that these grants were already approved before these people came into office. All of these grants were approved before they came into office, well before the Trump administration came into office. So I don't understand how the government can appropriate these funds and then say, nope, let's snatch that away. Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. Hey, members of the Rainbow Coalition compound, y'all thought I was lying to y'all yesterday when I said it was not a game. Y'all know Texas is always the front runner and the leader on this. Shout out to the book Front Runner. The Front Runner was one of the first books I remember, first gay books, novels that I can remember reading. The Front Runner, great book, great read. I read it way back in the 90s, but it was one of the first books I remember reading that was about it was the first gay love story I can remember reading. The Front Runner. I ought to go pick that up and read it again. A Texas bill introduced by Republican State Representative Tom Oliverson would criminalize transgender people for identifying as anything other than their sex assigned at birth on official documents, effectively making it a felony to be out as a trans person in many public and professional settings. House Bill 3817, titled the quote Gender Identity Fraud Act, end of quote, would make it a jailable state felony if a person, quote, knowingly makes a false or misleading verbal or written statement, end of quote, about their sex to a government agency or employer. They said to a government agency or employer, not even written. They're saying misleading verbal statement. Violators could face up to 2 years in jail and a $10,000 fine. If passed and signed by Texas Governor Greg Abbott, the law would take effect on September 1st of this year. The bill is among the most extreme anti transgender measures introduced in the U.S. If passed, HB 3817 would make it illegal for transgender Texans to update their driver's license, birth certificates, or employment records to reflect their gender identity. The bill does not include exceptions for those who have legally changed their documents, effectively stripping transgender people of legal recognition. Let me read that again for you. The bill does not include exceptions for those who have already legally their documents, their documents, effectively stripping transgender people of legal recognition. Oh, it gets worse. Senate Bill 406, which is another bill introduced by Texas State Senator Mays Middleton of Galveston, Texas. That bill would prevent transgender Texans from changing the sex listed on their birth certificates. The bill only allows modifications in cases of clerical errors or for intersex people. We're here. We are here. We are here. We are here, y'all. And I'm so scared. Texas is I believe the second largest state in the country. Texas is the second largest state of the country in the country. A huge swath of our LGBTQ plus community resides in the state of Texas. A huge the metroplex up there in the Dallas Fort Worth, Arlington, Irving area. You got the greater Houston area down to the south. You have Austin in the center of the state. You have San Antonio. You even have a large LGBTQ plus community in El Paso and other places like Wichita Falls in Texas and stuff like that. They're all over Texas. They're large LGBTQ plus communities. And this is scary. This is why I keep screaming from the rooftops for our not trans community, but for the entirety of the LGBTQ plus community. Understand this shit is happening. This shit is unraveling. And I get passionate because I'm not just black, but I am a black man and I'm also a gay man. And while it's going to take a lot longer and a lot more efforts for them to strip all of the rights from black people, but they're catching up though. It's going to take little to no effort for them to strip all of the rights that the LGBTQ plus community has fought for decades now. All of those rights are being stripped away from us in literally days time. We haven't even been a full 2 months in. We have not been 60 days into this administration. And here we are, the entire diminution of all of the rights that we have worked so hard for, and that frankly many of our community have taken for granted. We know liberty and freedom is fragile, and if they could do this nilly-willy, so flippantly and effortlessly to the trans community, you think that the gay community is not next? It ain't just the T corridor. They don't already erase the T corridor off of government websites. They've eliminated Marsha. We talked about they've eliminated Marsha P. Johnson and my girl Sylvia off as well. Sylvia Rivera. You think they won't do it for the G corridor or the L corridor? Y'all, these are scary times. These are so scary times. And I talked to my friends over in Texas. I've been talking to some friends of mine within positions of leadership within the LGBTQ plus community, because especially the Black LGBTQ plus community, because whatever happens to the LGBTQ plus community, it's exponentially worse for the Black LGBTQ plus community. And I've been talking to friends about some things that need to happen, and people that are in positions of power, and how as a community we can start. We may be late to the fight, but you got to fight nonetheless. Even if you come late to the fight, you still need to fight. And this stuff is getting scary, y'all. This stuff is, and I have no reason to believe that this won't pass. Texas has a majority. I don't know if they have a super majority. I know they used to have a super majority in both the House and the Senate. I'm not sure if they still have a super majority in both the House and the Senate, but they definitely have enough to get this passed through and sent over to Governor Hot Wheels. Exactly. That is why I scream about. Thank you for bringing that up, Angela. That is why I scream about what's happening to the LGBTQ plus community, because what they do is they figure it's easy to do it to the LGBTQ plus community, and what they do is they get practice and they sharpen their skills and their tactics. So when they try to attack the Black community, which they know is going to be a harder fight, they would have already they will already have precedent. They would already have honed their skills, legal wordings and practices, so that it's not that hard for them to do. I mean, it's bad. It's bad out here. And there's a large swath of the Black community looking and saying, well, that ain't not my problem. I ain't got nothing to do with them people over there in the Rainbow Coalition compound. That's not my fight. That's not my problem. All the while you're saying it's not your problem, you don't know that on the back end, what you're not paying attention to is they're setting up the problem for you. And by the time you realize it, it's right on top of you, knocking at your door, and it's too late. Let me go on before I get too triggered. In more news, now this is even more scarier for me. This is as scary as what we just read is. Here's what's even scarier for me. If you recall, we reported on this platform that a federal judge had blocked Trump's administration from transferring transgender women to men's prisons, and said that they could not do that. There was an injunction, and a federal judge blocked the Trump administration from doing that. Right? They're doing it anyway. According to reporting from multiple news outlets, the Bureau of Prisons is continuing the practice of transferring some transgender women to men's prisons, putting incarcerated trans women at serious risks. According to civil rights attorneys, trans women not covered by ongoing litigation have been forcibly moved to men's prisons in recent weeks. Some have had their gender markers changed in prison records for relocations. Others report being denied gender affirming health care, subjected to pat downs by male guards, and forced to surrender personal undergarments now considered contraband. Here we are. Here we are. No, regardless how you feel about the trans community, regardless if you don't agree with it, regardless if you think it's that you don't want anything to do with it, the key point here is there was a federal judge order that this administration summarily said, fuck you and your order. we're going to do it anyway. That's the dangerous part. And that is where now, like I said to you earlier, we have already become a authoritarian and government and dictatorship. We're already here. We're already here because people seem to believe that we can hold on to this democracy. And let me tell you, they already out buying food for the wake and the repast of the funeral for this thing we call democracy. I'm about to spike out. Let me move on to the next story because I feel myself spiking. In more sugar spiky news, several black Los Angeles police officers are at the center. Not black, I'm sorry. I don't know why. My brain said black. This article does not say black. Let me take that out. God. I'm already spiking out, y'all. I ain't even got there yet. Several Los Angeles police officers, not black. They are not black, y'all. Listen to me. These are not black police officers, okay? Several Los Angeles police officers are at the center of a complaint alleging they made racist, sexist, and homophobic comments about their colleagues, potential recruits, and LA citizens. According to the LA Times, a 10-year veteran of the Los Angeles Police Department secretly recorded dozens of conversations in the department's recruitment office between March and October of last year that captured his colleagues making bigoted remarks. Roughly 90 recordings reveal several officers and supervisors making racist statements and even targeting their colleagues with derogatory homophobic language, according to the Times, citing a complaint filed on January 5th. According to the complaint, a Latina officer who once discussed how to physically fight black citizens told her colleagues, quote, "You hit black people in the liver. I heard they got weak livers," end of quote. And that's what a Latina officer said. Now we know the Hispanic Latinx community in Los Angeles has a very bad and nefarious relationship with the black community. We chronicled the story of members of the Los Angeles City Commission. Remember, the lady had to resign. Her and her colleague, the guy had to resign because they were making all types of homophobic and racist statements. And that's the city commission or city council, whatever they call themselves. Why would I think that a Latina, female, Hispanic officer would not say something like that? The same officer was also recorded telling a black officer that, quote, black people look like quote, black people like grape soda, end of quote, and that black people drinking Kool-Aid, quote, go by color, not flavor, end of quote. Now, if we're in a room with just black people and I want to say, we love us some grape, or I want to say, what flavor you got? You got red? Okay, good. We can do that. But what your ass cannot do, ma'am, you cannot at work talking to your black colleague make these statements. Ma'am, that's not for you to do. I'm sorry. During that same conversation, a Latino officer reportedly added, quote, black people enjoy watermelon in between basketball, end of quote. The complaint states that that officer also bragged that he once called the cops on some black children who were selling chocolate in his neighborhood, saying, quote, they do not belong here, end of quote. This is the police in Los Angeles. Let me remind you. The black officer who was reportedly part of the grape soda conversation was also reported to have called black people, quote, monkeys, end of quote, and will vocalize his thoughts while watching television news reports about crimes allegedly involving black people, with comments like, quote, what's new, end of quote, and, quote, those people are horrible, end of quote. In another conversation, the same Latina officer called a female supervisor a cunt and, quote, a gay ass bitch, end of quote, and also referred to a sergeant who was transferring to the recruiting unit as a, quote, little gay one, end of quote. According to the complaint, the same cop often reviewed officer candidate profiles to see what they looked like, reportedly failed candidates based on their appearance. She allegedly made fun of overweight candidates and deemed some candidates as ugly and creepy. The officers are also accused of making comments about deporting candidates and bragging about releasing disqualified candidates' information to other police agencies. After news of the complaint reached the public last month, LAPD Chief Jim McDonnell removed a lieutenant, a sergeant, and 4 officers from the recruitment unit, saying he was, quote, deeply disappointed by reports that certain officers were recorded making racist and offensive comments regarding department applicants, end of quote. The officer who filed the complaint initially submitted several written complaints about his work environment, but recently handed over his recordings. Y'all know what this is. Now, let's be clear. There are a lot of police officers in not just the black community, but in the Latinx community, in the Asian community, and some even in the white community that basically they don't they feel like they have this superiority about them because they are officers, and they don't feel like they're a part of the communities from whence they come, which is why there's still that separation between the community and the police force, because these people have this higher a heightened sense of self, and they have this pious aura about them, as if the community is beneath them, the communities from whence they have come. So I have every reason to believe that these members of the Hispanic community or Latinx community are talking about their own people, as well as members of the black community are talking about their own community. Exactly, Tracy. Absolutely. And we know, absolutely, Janae, and we know the LAPD has a notorious history of racism and bigotry and discrimination. Cherie said, no wonder my friend didn't make it into the academy. She works for San Bernardino now. Tracy, right over there in Southern California. And now everybody who's going over there and applied for these jobs, now you have to at the LAPD, now you have to wonder, well, damn, was I really qualified? And they wouldn't take me. These things right here that we're learning is the whole reason we have diversity, equity, and inclusion, because you got racist ass bigots that work in these recruitment offices that won't even acknowledge qualified individuals. They'll say something like, oh, they ugly. Oh, I don't like the way they look. Oh, I don't like their name. Oh, I don't like where they come from. Stuff like that. And they're automatically deemed not qualified for the position, not on the merits of who they are. These people don't want a meritocracy. These people want white supremacy. Let me get my ass out of this sugar spike segment before I lose my goddamn mind today. For you frequent flyers, Exactly, Janae. For you frequent flyers, um, in a shocking development, Southwest Airlines has announced that it will be no longer allowing your checked bags for free. Let me read this to you. This is coming from the Associated Press. Southwest Airlines will begin charging customers a fee to check bags, abandoning a decades long practice that executives had described last fall as key to differentiating the budget carriers from its rivals. Southwest, which built years of advertising campaigns around its policies of letting passengers check up to two bags for free, said today that people would have who haven't either reached their upper who haven't either reached the upper tiers of its Rapid Rewards loyalty program, bought a business class ticket, or hold the airline's credit card will have to pay for checked bags. The airline did not outline the fee schedule, but said the new policy would start with flights booked on May 28th. Oh, they're not even waiting. This happening in 2 months. It's starting on May 28th. Isn't that around Labor Day weekend? Hold on. Hold on. I think that's Labor Day weekend. Um, let me see. May 28th is a Wednesday. So that's the Wednesday after Labor Day. I mean Memorial Day, not Labor Day, Memorial Day. That's the Wednesday after Memorial Day. I don't care when you started. Y'all ain't shit, Southwest. The only reason that I would fly y'all little raggedy airlines sometimes is to get bags for free. If y'all ain't giving me no bags for free, I'm just gonna stick with my Delta that I fly all of the time. Y'all ain't giving me shit. Girl. Child. The company has been in business for over 50 years and they've always had free bags. Child, y'all got a lot of nerves. You say your sister is a Southwest Warrior, child. Green girl, you say your sister is probably a tears, child. You know people swear by Southwest because of that. That's the only now I usually go between Southwest and Delta. Most of my flights are Delta, but sometimes if I can get a cheaper flight on Southwest and I could not have to pay for my bag, I'll go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? Save some extra money for a few extra shots or drinks when I get there. But now, girl, that y'all got this, oh, girl, a mess, a mess. And I know people. This is stupid, Southwest. This is a dumb move. That's the only thing that distinguished y'all. First of all, nobody likes going over there and having to damn near fight people in them damn lines. You know they have the thing where you have to line up by the your letter and all of that stuff is open seating. That shit is for the bird. That shit is just dumb. I hate it. And so most people don't like that shit. And the only thing that they did like was the fact that they had some goddamn that they had the bags for free. And now that you ain't got that, you're reduced to being nothing more than Spirit and Frontier. I'm just saying. You might as well be Spirit or Frontier for me at this point, Southwest. I don't know what y'all thought this. I don't know how y'all thought this was gonna go. I don't know. Whoever came in the marketing department or who's ever making these decisions about this, they ain't doing y'all no justice. They're not serving y'all well because this is just stupid. This is just real stupid. Anyway, moving on. Oh, I got 8 minutes. Let me hurry my butt up. So it's being reported that Wendy Williams, when she went to do that psych evaluation yesterday, now it's being reported that she got a perfect 10 score, a 10 out of 10. And perhaps this is going to mean that she will be freed from her conservatorship. I'm just saying. I don't know. I still wonder. I'm not saying a woman should be locked up in a prison and conservatorship. I also don't feel too bad for her because the woman is vile. However, I wonder if is she strong enough mentally to not go back on the drugs and shit. That's my concern. But they said she had her psych evaluations and went to the hospital to get, testing, and everything seemed to go well. I mean, hopefully for her, this might mean the pathway to freedom for her. Who knows? I don't really care. I don't really like this woman like that. She's vile. Ma'am, go with God. The woman is vile. Le'Veon Bell finds himself in a situation. Yeah, that MAGA nut Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon, somebody put down to the members only chat your junk that you working with when you was on your bathroom toilet, rubbing one out, squeezing one out. Somebody put it in the members only chat. I don't know how it got there, but baby, they got you plastered all over the members only chat, Le'Veon. I'm just telling you what they got. I ain't got nothing to do with it, Le'Veon. Le'Veon, I ain't got nothing to do with it. All I know is down to the members only chat, baby, they got your meat all over the place. I'm just telling you, you over there stroking it out and everything. Child, I ain't been over there. Somebody told me, Tracy C told me about it. Now I ain't been over there. I don't even go in that section of the members only chat. But Tracy C said she went over there. She saw it, and she said Harold be over there. Harold and Xavier be in that part of the members only chat all the time. I don't even be in that part because I am as pure as the driven snow. I am pure and chaste. Okay. Anyway, so he finds himself in the news today. According to TMZ, a woman has claimed that he raped her for years when she was an adolescent, and he is vehemently denying it. Her name is Jada Bell. Now, if I had more time, I would go through. Shout out to Tracy. Put a shondo in the chat for Tracy. Tracy got me the court documents with the allegations. I just don't have time in the next 3.5 minutes to read them to y'all and get y'all over to Really Be on time, because Really Be is going live at 6:45. I ain't got the type of time. However, she said in the lawsuit that she filed in Franklin County, Ohio last year, that she's his cousin. She said she is his cousin. And when she was just 6 or 7 years old, he began having non consensual, incestual relations with her. When she was 6 or 7 years old, this is his cousin. And according to the filings, he had non consensual, incestual relations with her. And that's according to the court documents that she filed. According to this lawsuit, she says that he is 8 years older than her. He's 8 years older than her. So if she was 6, he was 14. And he would she said that he would use slang terms to direct her when she was just a minor, which incestual acts he wished for her to perform on him. For instance, the lawsuit states he termed oral sex, quote, fire, end of quote. She alleges that sexual abuse continued for roughly a decade when he would return to Ohio during his college years and beyond. She claims it all finally ceased when she reached 18 years old. Wow. She submitted her complaint to the courts March of last year, and in October, a judge issued a default judgment in her favor, ruling that he was, quote, served according to law and failed to move, plead, or otherwise appear in this action, end of quote. So he got served, but he didn't even show up. 2 weeks ago, a jury trial took place in his absence to determine the damages, and according to court documents, she was awarded $25 million in the verdict. Wow. Now, she was awarded 25 million. He only made a little bit over 45 million dollars while he was in the NFL. Sir, you're disgusting. Sir, I mean, but this is par for the course. He's a MAGA nut. You know, these MAGA nuts, they hang out in some of the worst, most seedy, disgusting parts of the human spectrum. Like, horrible things happen to people who do things that you're alleged to have done to this little girl as a child. And that's your cousin. Y'all got the same last name. You're that. Let me move on. Here's some good news for y'all. Um, Not to be confused with Wendy Williams. Wendy's the restaurant is giving away free Thin Mints Frosties for National Girl Scout Day. Now this is tomorrow, March 12th. Tomorrow is National Girl Scout Day, and Wendy's is giving away free small Thin Mints Frosty treats with any purchase exclusively through the mobile app. Though you got to do it through the mobile app. Now, while I applaud this, Wendy's, I don't like Thin Mints. I like Samoas. So can you give me a Samoa's Frosty and not a Thin Mints? Can I get that? I need a Frosty with some more. Or stick some crumple up some trefoils in there and throw them in there. I'm just saying. Anybody going around there to get it tomorrow? They'll be around there tomorrow. You can go get you a free Frosty tomorrow. Paul said you can keep that damn Frosty. He don't like that shit. Janae says she loved it, Thin Mints, but she says she'll pass. I just don't never go around there to Wendy's. I'm just saying. I'll never be around there. So anyway, um, in more good news for consumers, T-Mobile customers could receive up to $25,000 in the data in a settlement from that data breach they had. T-Mobile is preparing to distribute $350 million to customers impacted by its 2021 data breach, which compromised the personal information of approximately 76 million people. Who is eligible? Eligible recipients must have filed a claim by the January 23rd, 2023 deadline. Claimants must have been T-Mobile customers at the time of the August 16, 2021 data breach and had their information exposed. Um, you have to receive the maximum payout of $25,000. Claimants were required to submit documentation proving out-of-pocket expenses related to the breach, such as credit monitoring or fraud-related costs. And finally, those without documentation could still receive a smaller payment of $25 or $100 for California residents. I don't have T-Mobile, so I ain't never had T-Mobile. I don't know nothing about it. When Janae says she had Wendy's today. Anyway, why are you on my screen? Oh God. Jesus. Dirty dick guy. DDG. He said, let me just read his statements. And he's mad now, saying he wants to move away from Hollywood, right? And he posted on social media, quote, I want to move to Lagos. I'm tired of being in America. End of quote. Okay. Bye. Who's stopping you? Sir, you don't need to announce that. No one's stopping you. Nigeria is over there waiting. I heard Lagos in Nigeria is a great place to visit. Sir, go over there now. Go with God. Ain't nobody stopping you. We don't give a damn. Can you go tomorrow? Can you go today? Just leave and go today. We'll get somebody to pack all your shit up and we'll mail it to you. Don't worry. Just go today. Baby, we will mail you your shit to you. You ain't even got to wait. You don't have to wait. Sir, go now. I'm not doing this with you, Angela. I did call him dirty dick guy. But sir, please go with God. You do not have to wait. We are not keeping you here. There's nothing. Your baby mama won't let you see your son. So what else do you have to stay here for? Sir, go now. We'll mail you your stuff. Don't worry about it. We'll mail it to you. In our last story of the day, Lil Bust Down. Lil Boosie is in the news. Apparently, he had a concert and there was a shooting at the concert and 3 people were injured. Now, it's been confirmed that he had a concert last night and gunshots were fired in the middle of his live set and 3 people were injured as a result. Furthermore, the incident was captured on video. Now, people started sharing the video on social media. I didn't really look at the video. I don't know that I want to show it because it involves shooting. I have the video here. I haven't looked at it yet. But they said 3 people were injured. First of all, I'm not even going to a Lil Bust Down concert. Let's be clear. But they said the shooting took place at 2 a.m. at the Fieldhouse Lounge in Akron, Ohio. Now, police say they only found 2 of the 3 victims. One was an 18-year-old man, and the other was a 36-year-old man. The third victim, a 25-year-old man, later reported to the hospital. He had a grazed gunshot, which proved to be less severe than the other 2. The names of all 3 men have not been released. Do any women go to these Lil Bust Down concerts? I'm just saying, it's a lot of men here. Any women, women, ladies, any of y'all go to frequent Lil Bust Downs concerts? I'm just asking. Anybody be over there? Because it sounds like there'll be no ladies over there. We're praying for a speedy recovery for the victims of this shooting. We're definitely praying for their speedy recovery. First of all, I'm not gonna be caught at a Lil Bust Down concert anyway, so it don't sound like a lot of women are either. For all of his, heterosexuality. Anyway, that's all we got for today, y'all. Listen, y'all, I've enjoyed y'all as I always do. Tomorrow we'll be back at it. We have Teacher Project 2.0 tomorrow. And we'll be back for Run Your Mouth. But tonight at 8:30, come back round. We have a lot of updates that we need to give you all. A lot of politics tonight for Red, Blue, and Black. So please come back round at 8:30. We'll be here, me and Cams, and we'll do it like we always do. As I always say, Angela say it's a sausage fest my gay ass don't want to go to. As I always say, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged. They're much appreciated. Let me get y'all over to Really Beam. Wait right there. I'll send y'all all over there. Ravine, you better not go over there and tell her I made y'all late. Until 8:30. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out. I'll see y'all at 8:30.